in a small town down in Arkansas, where the river flows, there's a man with a passion that everybody knows.
Howdy, everybody. Welcome back to HT's EDC, coming at you this Tuesday morning. And Miss Abby, you gonna say hello to the good people? Huh? You gonna say hello to the folks? To Todd, to Dave, to all the watchers out there in YouTube land? Well, she is in her post right here beside me, and we are going to get after it this morning. And this is going to be my part 2 video of the knife I just received in yesterday. Big shout out to brother Todd, Pocket EDC. He actually turned me on to this particular knife. Sent me a listing, as we all do in the community. We do this back and forth. If we see a knife we think would be right up one of the other brothers' alley, we'll shoot them a picture, we'll shoot them a listing. And this is one of those cases. This was actually a knife that was up in Canada, up in the Great White North, and it was one that was on his radar, and he saw it and thought it would be a good one that would trip old HT's trigger down here in good old Arkansas. And truer words have never been spoken, Brother Todd. Yes, sir, it tripped my trigger, and we made it happen. And yesterday, if you're just watching this video and you have not watched part 1, you need to go back real quick. You can come back to this one, hop over and watch part 1 yesterday when it first came in and how the knife looked upon arrival. I immediately tore off into this one. I am on a Folding Hunter frenzy right now. The Hunter pattern has long been my favorite. You guys know I'm a buck 110 Folding Hunter, buck 112, Ranger, those style of knives. Those are single blades, but still Hunters or Folding Hunters. And now that love is just shifting over into the old timers, case Folding Hunters. I have an affinity for those big ones, and I am in love with the Hunter pattern, the Folding Hunters. And anyway, when this one came in yesterday, matter of fact, I had actually took it to the sink and already done a little washing on it, and I thought to myself, oh, whoa, dummy, take a picture, let the folks see what it looked like, upon arrival, and then they can see what it looks like, have the full picture of what it looks like after I get done with it, and minus a little scrubbing in the sink and getting some crud off. What you see in part 1 was pretty much, I might have got a little something off of it in the sink, but 90% of what's in part 1 is true, and that's the way it was upon arrival. I have talked enough. Let's see what we were able to do with this old, and this is, by the way, a 1946, is it? I believe it's a 1946, yes, 1946 through 1973 Schrade-Walden Folding Hunter. And I know that is a big long range. I don't know why on their tang stamps there wasn't, a little more breakup in that. So dating this knife, this could be as old as a 1946, and I guess as new as a 73, which still a 73, I'm a 74 model, so that would still, at the absolute newest, this knife would be 51 years old. My best guess, that's all it is a semi-educated guess of looking at like models and my experience. I'm going to say this is a 60s. I have no way of knowing. Like I said, the tang stamp is from 46 all the way to 73, but my gut feeling, just everything about this, it feels like somewhere in the 60s. So this is probably a 60 to 65-year-old knife that you guys are fixing to look at, if I will shut up and show you. And here is what we have. Get my rag here. I had it, my last step in my process is an overnight soak for these. These are jigged Delrin handles. And like I say, my last step is I give them an overnight soak in some good old mineral oil. And we'll kind of open these blades up a little. Let you guys see how these blades turned out. Love, love, love the Skinner blades. I love this blade on folding hunters, the 2-blade folding hunters. I love, and I especially love what the Schrade and Old Timer does. This little swooping skinning blade, it is just cooler than the other side of the pillow. And that's how that blade, and again, you can go back to part 1 and see, you know, I had a little bit of surface rust. I'm not going to dress this up. There wasn't a lot of red rust. There was a little red rust down in the blade channels that we'll get to. But these blades were not red rusty, but they were black, and they did have some really, really dark, you know, peppering and some patina spots on there. And we just went ahead and took them back to, well, as you see them right here. So there's that blade. We'll move that one kind of out of the way, and we will get on to this clip point. If I don't cut myself, it's still quite oily, but let y'all see how this clip point turned out. And there is that tank stamp I'm telling you guys about. If that will focus. Schrade-Walden, New York, NY for New York, USA. And like I said, that is a 1946 through 73 big old honking range. But that is the tank stamp they used from 46 all the way to 73. They didn't ask my opinion on the subject. I'll let you see kind of that backside. There is a couple little, you know, spots on here, you know, some old patina, maybe a little peppering, and that is okay. To me, I didn't want to, you know, per se mirror polish this, but yeah, pretty happy how they turned out. Open these blades fully, and we'll give you a tour of my lighting will help here. There we go, maybe. Those blade channels and those brass liners. Get my finger all the way for y'all. This is something I see a lot on these older blades. These blade channels will just get gunky, and a lot of times that is where some red rust will start setting up. But I'm pretty pleased where we got these back to. Got all this brass here shined up, and turn it around here on the back. Let you look at these back springs and liners. Yeah, I just think it is, and of course, you know, in hand, it is a behemoth. This is a 5 1/4 inch, 5 1/4 inch blade closed. So you are looking at a 5-inch handle. I don't care what size you have, what size hands you have, you're gonna fit on a folding hunter. And I mean, if you're like here, if I choke up on this, this is almost comical. Look at that. I have almost 1.5 inches, 2 inches of handle if I'm choked up on this. But if I just grab it natural, you got the whole bolster, plus a little sticking out behind the pinky, and just, it's a beast. And I love them. I think the cool factor of these big old honking knives, and I think they're useful, here's one thing to think of, folks. If you're not a big knife fan, big knives can do some little knife things, but not vice versa. And I am not hating on the little guys. I'm the proprietor of the Canoe Crew, my favorite small-ish knife. They have their place. They're nimble, they're easy to tote. But just one thing, these big guys can do some of those small knife things. You just got to be a little, you got to have the skills and the agility, I guess, to do it. And that just comes from toting them and getting used to them. But there's some things the little guys can't just emphatically can't do that these can. So not trying to sell you, hey, everybody go get a Folding Hunter or a Buck 110. Those are just facts, though. These things are more useful and can do more things than maybe you give them credit for. And of course, they're tough and brawny and can handle a lot. Just some things that are just out of the capabilities of a smaller knife. It's just a fact. Not for everybody. I'm not saying like I said, I'm not trying to convince you to my way of thinking. That is just some facts that these things are very useful and can do some of the smaller tasks that the smaller knives just can't jump up here and do. But anyway, get this open one more time. We're not going to keep y'all all day, but kind of give y'all a final look. By the way, this is a company. This is Aston. If you guys see if that can focus on that little, there you go. Kind of has the yin and yang sign here on this little shield. And to look that up, that is Aston Fabrics. So this actually was probably at one time a gift, a company gift, a service award or something, because this is that is not a Schrade-Walden or an old timer. That is actually a yin and yang company logo of Aston Fabrics. So I don't know much about Aston Fabrics, but honestly, it's kind of a cool shield, isn't it? Oh, yin and yang, and I mean, it shined up pretty good. I think it looks cool. Definitely a piece of history. Not many other people are going to have that little shield, cover shield on their knives. So I guess if you worked at Aston Fabrics in whatever year they gave these out or what have you, maybe you have one, but somehow it found its way to good old Arkenstone, and I think she's cool as creek water. I think she turned out real good, and you betcha I will be toting this. You will see this probably in an upcoming episode of What You Toting Today. By the way, thank you for everybody that is participating in that little open tag. It is for everybody, folks. It is not exclusive. I don't want you to, hey, I don't have no channel, so nobody cares what I'm carrying or whatever. Baloney. Baloney. You guys are just as important to me, and look at me when I tell you. You guys are just as important to me that follow my channel as my content creator buddies. You're going to say, yeah, whatever. I've heard y'all are all a big clique or whatever. We make friends in this community other than the content creators, but I'm speaking for me, and I know that most of the people that I converse with feel the same way. We want to hear from you guys too. You guys, the other content creators, don't make our channel. You know, we subscribe to one another and all that. Hate that word, but we follow one another. Yeah, that is true. But without you guys, my 40 or 50 creators that follow my channel, that's where I'd be at without you. I'd be at 40 or 50, and then maybe a handful of friends and family that feel sorry for me. So 50 or 60 followers. The rest of them is you guys. And I say that to say this. My email is in my video description. I've already had one person, which I think is cool. I'm going to get back to you, by the way. David, you know who you are. I've seen your email. Super cool, buddy. I will respond to that. Just been trying to get out my content this morning, but that is cool. That is cool, buddy. And I have already seen it. What I'm trying to say here is there is avenues you can get down in the comments and simply tell us what you're toting today. You can do like David did, drop me an email with a picture and show me what you're toting today. And of course, I made it an open tag. I'm not excluding, I'm not saying I don't want content creators. Absolutely, I do. Shout out to brother Kevin, the knife doctor yesterday. He actually jumped on board day one. That was really cool. Thank you, Kevin. And he jumped on a what you toting today. So all you content creators are more than welcome. That's why I made it an open tag. But I don't want everybody to think this is just, hey, I don't have a channel. Nobody cares what I'm carrying. Baloney. I do. I 1000% do. Your opinion and what you're toting, and I am interested because that's, after a while, us content creators, we kind of know, we see all the time what each other's carrying. We don't see what you guys are carrying out there, and there may be some cool, that's what I'm after here. I'm wanting to see the cool, awesome, unique pieces that are out there in the community. So anyway, I think what this video was about. This video was about part 2 of this knife, but just a plug for the little series I'm doing, What You Toting Today. I want you to hear it from the horse's mouth, what I'm looking for out of that little segment series. We're at almost 17 minutes. Gonna shut up. Keep it under 20 today. Love you guys. Drop me a comment. Tell me how you think I did, what you think about this. Is it terrible? Is it cool? Just keep it respectable. Love you guys. See you on the next one. God bless. HT, Miss Abby. We are out.
Buck knives gleaming under that old porch light. He'll tell their stories deep into the night. Reviews and torture tests. It's a sight to see.